right, time for our top talkers. I'm excited about today's topic, as is Cub Carson as well. Cub Carson joining us from 93.9, Leanne Cusack, of course, from CTV News at noon, and Trisha Owens from Majic 100, the morning show. Okay. Sugar baby students using arrangements to pay for university. There's a new website. Well, it's not so new, but seekingarrangement.com. The site, which connects generous older patrons with young and attractive users, claims more women in Canadian universities are becoming sugar babies to pay for school. Who would like to start on this one?
It used to be to pay for school, you'd become a teaching assistant, commonly known as a TA, and that used to stand for teaching assistant.
Yeah, but I think there's one extra little letter in there. I really don't know what to say about this because as a kept man, I don't know about these kind of things about how the world works, but if you want to go to school that bad, why don't you just work?
Yeah,
get a job,
an idea.
get a summer job.
Student loans, and I know that the whole premise behind this is because it's then very expensive to go to university, and they're graduating with thousands of dollars in student loans. I just don't know that this is the way to make money for school.
Okay, so it's not something that you would choose to do, but it seems that it is becoming incredibly popular. We are seeing it at a variety of Canadian universities. We are seeing it all over England and all over the United States. So seekingarrangements.com, something is going on, and a lot of these students are saying this is not about the difference. Well, some are saying this is about it's not all about sex, but more so about the just being there to accompany them to certain things.
To sit and have dinner with them. Sure, that's what they're paying $3,000 a month for. Let's be honest as to what is actually happening.
But it's really good dinner. The conversation is spectacular.
Trisha just made herself blush.
I'm getting all flustered because we know it's not just about conversation and holding hands.
So there you go.
If that was the case, well then sure, I'd be all for it. I'll hold your hand for $3,000 a month. Okay?
I think we struck a nerve with Trisha.
I really did.
How did you end up paying off your student loans?
Leanne, I haven't heard from you. What's your thought?
You did right off the mark. You did. I weighed in early on this. I was actually quite naive and quite surprised.
You did not.
I was naive. I thought that it was less common than apparently it is. And then, of course, this morning doing my research, and now I'm worried about what my spam filter might miss, because I, of course, naively typed in sugar babies, thinking, oh, it can't be that common. Led me right to
Don't hit search on Google. Do not hit search.
Sent me right to the site.
It did.
Yeah, to
seekingarrangements.com. And so I actually, you know, I do. Well, because I was doing the same thing. I was wondering because I saw all of these articles coming through about it.
Were you able to get onto the site though? Because it was blocked for us upstairs. What does that tell you?
But I was able to see it because there were a variety of news networks and a lot of different stations, especially in the California area where this is rampant, that they're seeing hundreds of students per school that are involved in this. And so then I would see through the news, through the story, all of the different postings that they were seeing. Well, ranging in age from 18 to 26 was the range, and now they're actually starting to see that men are joining, young men, and have sugar mamas.
Well, I'd heard the term sugar mommy. I'd heard the term sugar daddy. I'd never heard the term sugar baby.
Sugar baby.
See, I thought you guys were talking about candy.
Carson, what's the topic today?
And then just as we got on, it was like, oh, now I know what you're talking about.
What is the expression? If you want to hear from me, they say that if you marry for money, you'll never work harder for anything in your life. So I think the same applies. You don't end up getting anything for nothing.
My wife ain't working hard, I'll tell you right now. Is it illegal? I mean,
why would it be illegal?
Well, no, because you can't prove that it's an exchange of money for you know what.
Outside
of the
older
physical
person has chosen to pay your tuition.
Like someone's trolling for a prostitute. That's what it sounds like.
Well, and there it is. And so I want to say, and part of this article, there's a sergeant out of the Windsor Police saying the site could violate human trafficking laws, according to Canada.com. For this part, that mutually beneficial relationships are meant to empower the patrons. So
because that's what it is exactly. I mean, this is an empower. The women or the younger men, they feel like they have the upper hand because they're getting what they want out of this, but the flip side is the older people that are giving the money, they feel like they've got the power.
So if it's mutually beneficial,
getting back to the naivety, this has been going on forever. We just now it's more accessible and more commonly known because there are websites. I'm sure. I mean,
mutually beneficial, okay. Morally beneficial, I think that's where the gray area lies.
I love it when you get on the moral high
you.
horse.
You know me.
I love it when that
My
happens.
reputation precedes me.
That is the way. I think you said it right there, right? Mutually beneficial in terms of what are each seeking out of the arrangement, but morally, that's the question.
My curiosity really is, you know, the department that most of these students are in. Is it philosophy? Is it business? You know, is it philosophical ethics, or is it business, or, you know,
Because the world is just clamoring for more philosophers out there.
English literature. I don't know, because truly, maybe if there were a matching along not just financial lines, but more academic lines, where you know.
Oh, you know that's not happening. It's like, maybe I got the money.
Yeah.
What are you going to show me for it?
Maybe it's Svengali. Maybe it's kind of a My Fair Lady story.
Oh let's romanticize the whole
Where else are we
thing.
going to go with the topic? I'm doing my best here.
Yeah, keep digging, because there are a lot more people that are signing up. There are a lot more sugar daddies and sugar mummies that are heading to the site looking for this, and we are finding that a lot more Canadian students. You think sometimes we see this and it's like, oh, it's only in the States. Oh, it's in California. I mean, that's a world away.
Do you know what,
it is happening in our Canadian
you know
schools.
what this goes back to? This goes back to, remember when we talked about that group cuddle session? Remember that?
Yeah, we tried that.
cuddle party.
It speaks to how many. I can't get a thought of it here. It speaks to how many lonely people there are still. Apparently,
that's really what it comes
lonely
down to.
people with money.
If you're willing
Yeah,
to
they
pay
have money.
someone for companionship in that sense, and you're not getting, you know, what normally comes with paying someone for a relationship.
Tell me more about that.
Oh, it's all the time we've
That
got.
is all the time we have. I've got to throw to a commercial break.